For Butler, number 4, Mia Rader. Number 11, Alyssa Ike. Number 21, Jenna Kuntz. Number 31, Julia Gibson. And number 32, Emily Altman. Butler is coached by Mark Miller. And now, for the Pine-Richland Rams. Number 3, Megan Llewellyn. Number 32, Kendall Gessner. Number 33, Taylor Brenner. Number 45, Victoria Krankovic. And number 1, Kayla Graff. Pine-Richland is coached by Tom Ricker, assisted by Bob Hughes, Katie Graham, and Casey Kaiser.
Good evening and welcome to Pine-Richland High School. Tonight we have another WPIAL girls basketball matchup between the visiting Butler area Golden Tornado and the Pine-Richland Rams. Hello again everybody, I'm Brian Kerp alongside the legend Ben Lambert. Ben, we called the game last Monday against Seneca Valley. The girls didn't really play too well in the first half, but they really rebounded in the second half against Seneca Valley Raiders.
Yeah, Brian, I think as you said after the game, 28 second half points, but in the end it wasn't enough. They were unable to hit. They had some open looks, and I said it after the game, they were unable to hit those open threes, and in the end when you do that and you get that many opportunities and can't take advantage, it's gonna bite you.
Yeah, there's a tip that goes right to Kayla Graff, and now here they are in the offensive zone. Gets it off to Brenner at the wing, now to Krankovic at the top of the key. The other wing, that's Kayla Graff. Graff gets it to Llewellyn, and now Brenner again. Starting lineup for Pine-Richland, number 1, Kayla Graff. Number 3, Megan Llewellyn. Number 32, Kendall Gessner. Number 33, Taylor Brenner. Number 45, Victoria Krankovic. The starting 5 for Pine-Richland. There's a drive in the paint by Brenner, too strong. And rebounded goes to Emily Altman of Butler, the starting 5 for Butler area Golden Tornado. Number 4, Mia Rader. Number 11, Alyssa Eith. Number 21, Jenna Kunst. Number 31, Julia Gibson. And 32, Emily Altman. So here's Rader, gets it off to Eith. Eith defended by Gessner. Drive along the baseline, layup off the backboard, doesn't get any rim. Rebound fought for, now here's Kunst. Kunst drives along the baseline, reverse lay, no good. Another offensive rebound, this time to Eith. And a little scramble for the ball, and it is going to be foul, it looks like, Ben.
Yeah, Brian, Pine-Richland getting into a little trouble early. They had three guys back, 3 players there with a chance for the rebound, and we're just being outworked there and unable to get the rebound, and we're forced to take a foul. But
that foul was on Taylor Brenner, and there's a ball again out of bounds off of Pine-Richland. So once again, Alyssa Eith and Butler will inbound from the baseline right in front of us. Eith, the senior, inbounds it.
Pine-Richland looking for its second home win this year.
Yeah, the only section home win was against North Hills, as that shot is no good. Rebound goes to Graff. Kayla Graff, a senior. Gets it to another senior, that's Taylor Brenner. Back to Graff. 6:30 remaining in our first quarter of action. No score between the Golden Tornado and the Rams of Pine-Richland. Megan Llewellyn gets it now to Graff. Now Gessner. Gessner had a really good second half, defensively and offensively against Seneca.
So it looks like she's going to draw the foul.
Yeah, it looks like she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Brian, and as we were saying earlier, Pine-Richland looking for their second home win, and that's really been the big thing when you look at the record of the Rams, overall 5-11. And really, when you have trouble winning in your backyard, it's very tough to compete. And the Whitfield teams are just too good. And that's been the story so far for the Rams, but they're looking good so far. As
Two free throws by Kendall Gessner.
2-0 lead here against Butler, Rams trying to split the series, if you call it, against Butler with the JV and varsities of the boys and girls teams.
Oh yeah, we all know what happened on Friday in the boys game. We'll get to that at the end of the first quarter. Here's a turnover now. Here goes Graff. Rams up by 2. 5:53 in our first quarter. Megan Llewellyn at the wing. Llewellyn resets. Now gets it off to Graff, sizing up Eith. And now Llewellyn gets it to Brenner. Brenner, the drive. And her shot slips out. And
yeah, Brian, it looked like she lost the handle on it there. She was going for the shot and went behind.
So here's
and
the
out
inbound.
Of bounds.
Inbound to Julia Gibson. Gibson, the junior, now gets it to senior Jenna Kunz. And a drive.
Looks like a foul.
Yep, there will be a foul.
The Rams.
That foul was actually on Kayla Graff. First by Kunz, rattles around the rim and
a little bit of ball luck there for if you're a Ram fan. See that ball go out.
Second is nothing but net though from Jenna Kunst. And Golden Tornado is on the board. 5:26 remaining in our first quarter.
Looks like the Golden Tornado doing a full court press here early. Yep. Trying to force Pine-Richland into some turnovers.
Now here's Gessner. Gessner gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn, the sophomore. Now to Graff. Kayla Graff and the Rams leading by 1 point. Brenner fakes a 3, keeps faking it, now gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn tries a 3. Too strong. Tipped around, rebound goes to Kunst. Kunst gets it now to Rader, and she will bring it into the front court. Last time these two teams met was on January 10th up at Butler, and the Golden Tornado won that matchup 47-26. Rams trying to even that series as there's a 3, it's too strong. And a rebound, a jump ball, possession arrow points towards Pine-Richland.
Yeah, Brian.
Llewellyn and Gibson battle for that.
Looking back on that game, it's very tough to win when you only put up 26 points offensively. The teams are just too good in the Whitfield.
Here's the inbound now. Actually,
Butler
turned over, yep.
Retained the...
And now there's a layup by Gibson, the unfriendly rim, it rattles in and out, but there's going to be a push off on Butler. It's a floor foul, so Llewellyn will inbound from the baseline. That foul was on Gibson. Her second of the night already. That's now 2 team fouls for Butler. Each team has 2 fouls, in fact. Here's the inbound. Now here goes Graff quickly. She gets it off to Krankovic. Now that's Gessner. Gessner defended by Kunst. Gessner trying to drive in the paint, and she will be fouled on the play. So Kendall Gessner with 2 points already will try to get more points on the board for the Rams.
Rader with that foul.
Here's the first, low to the left from Gessner.
So it looks like Pine-Richland's getting Butler into a little bit of foul trouble early here in the first quarter.
Second, low to the right, so 2 missed free throws from Gessner. Rams still up 2-1 now. 4-11 in our first quarter from Pine-Richland High School. As Rader brings it into the front court and then gets it off. That's now Kunst. Kunst gets it back to, that was Eith. And now Altman. Altman now to Rader. Rader working against Llewellyn. And now a drive and blocked
Good
away.
Rejection there.
You saw that from Krankovic last Monday too. Going up for that was Petmeyer. Yeah, a lot of, as mentioned, a lot of
tenacious Rams defense here early. But it looks like Butler's gonna retain possession.
So looking at the inbound, that's Petmeyer, and she will get it into the backcourt. And it is retained by Rader. Rader defended by Llewellyn. There's going to be a foul on Llewellyn. Now here's the inbound from the sideline on the far side in front of the scorer's table. And now here goes Rader. Rader. Now it's inside and turned over. Now here goes Brenner. Brenner in transition. She will lay it up. No foul called, and going the other way is
Butler. Took a Butler player with her, down with her, so
here we go. Butler now in their offensive zone, in front of head coach of the Rams, Tom Riggert. Now there's a three from the wing, too strong. On the attempt, that was Altman. And now tiptoeing the baseline is Graff, but she will maintain possession for the Rams.
Good save there by Kayla Graff.
Callie Pulse now in the game for the Rams. Gessner waiting to check back in at the scores table. Llewellyn will get now to Pulse. Pulse. Brenner will try a three. Too strong.
2:49 left in the
Callie
quarter.
Pulse puts it up.
And now it's 4-1. Little hockey score, Brian.
Low scoring here so far as there's a ball tipped away and is retained by Petmeyer and a Golden Tornado. Now here's Petmeyer in front of us, Ben. Defended by Graff, baseline. Gets it outside, wide open for three. Shot too strong from Altman. Rebound. The layup is good by Jenna Kunst. Jenna Kunst now accounts for all three of the Golden Tornado points tonight. Here's Pulse as the Rams still up 4-3, 2:10 in our first quarter. Brenner gets it now to Krankovic. Krankovic looking. Now we'll get it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn, clock under 2 minutes. Graff, inside pass, great pass. And the shot is no good by Brenner. And it bounces around and is rebounded by...
Yeah, Brian, that had everything but the finish.
There will be blocking foul on Brenner as there was a baseline drive by Kunst.
Looked like Brenner tried to draw the charge as she went down. To no avail.
So Gessner will check back in for the Rams as well as Alex Yarbrough. Yarbrough and Gessner will join Llewellyn, Pulse, and Graff on the court. Now here's Rader. Rader working around Gessner, now gets it off to Eith. And now here goes Gessner. Rams in transition, slows it down. Llewellyn tries a three. Nothing but net for Megan Llewellyn.
Nice transition there for Pine-Richland. They have Gessner able to take it away, feed their transition game, get Llewellyn open there.
So 1:11 remaining in our first quarter. The Rams have 7 points on the board. Posing them 3 points for the Butler Golden Tornado, and there's a turnover. Here goes Pulse. Pulse will get it now to Graff.
Against the #2 team in the section, you said earlier, Brian.
Yeah, Butler only trails NA. As always, NA girls basketball, one of the best in the state, if not the best. There's going to be a foul on the floor on Butler. Back to what I was saying, NA is 16-0 this year, 7-0 section record. Pine-Richland played them on Thursday and lost that game 49-27, but then Pine-Richland came back and won against Connellsville on Saturday. That was a makeup game as there was a cancellation because of snow.
Looks like we're getting a little bit of snow tonight, Brian.
Yeah, the Connellsville game, Rams won that 44-36 on Saturday. Did a shot no good, rebounded by Pulse. Pulse gets to Gessner now. Graff will bring it into the front court. 35 seconds in our first quarter.
Rams have done a nice job of rebounding, not giving Butler many second chance opportunities. It seemed like that was the last game that you and I called, Brian. That was their downfall. It seemed that they could get they could force Seneca into some tough shots, but they just couldn't get the rebounds. And it looks like Kayla Graff's just milking the clock down to maybe a couple of seconds and getting the shot off. It looks like it's going to go.
Off her.
Dribbled herself into submission, Brian.
So 3 seconds. 3 from the corner. At the buzzer, it's good.
another buzzer. The third one.
There's a reason why we're laughing, guys.
The third buzzer beater.
And we'll tell you why in a minute here. There's a buzzer beater
the
in
third
the JV
one.
game at the end of the first quarter. But last Friday night, there was a similar play at the end of the boys varsity game. And Ben, that was Ethan Morton, one of the best players in the state, in the country as well, going to play basketball.
Brian, and I recall before the game, Sam, the kid who was doing the announcing for the game, during the first half, he was telling me how good Morton was, and he really lived up to his name.
So let's take a look at this magical shot by Ethan Morton and the Butler Golden Tornado.
Cotton and
that is Clement.
Other Mihalik, both Mihalik. So they have good
2 seconds
shooters
and one shot is good!
And it's counting. That's the game.
So Ben, you were here for that game. I was out of town. I was skiing with our high school skiing board club. Like I said, you were in this gym. What were the emotions
Brian,
right before that shot went in?
You know, not just that shot. It was the whole game. You know, it seemed like Pine-Richland was down a little bit, and you're thinking that it's not looking too good. And then Pine-Richland gets up by a couple of scores, and you're thinking Pine-Richland might be able to pull this one out. And then Butler, next thing you know, comes right back, and then it seems like Pine-Richland's able to get those 2 fouls at the end, and it looked like maybe Pine-Richland's going to pull it out, and it seemed improbable for 3 seconds. And the thing I'll remember about that game the most is, you know, the atmosphere in the building. I mean, I was spotting for that game, and I took my headphones off for a second just to hear the noise, and the tension was so thick. I don't think I mean, if you tried to cut it with a knife, I don't think you could do it. Excuse me.
Yeah, we got another good matchup here between the girls. Butler and Pine-Richland Rams up 7-6 though. Here we go. There's interior pass to Kunst. And that shot is good from the paint, and now Butler has the lead 8-7. Kunst now has 5 points tonight.
Yeah, Brian, that was a really big win for Butler on Friday, especially since it feels like Pine-Richland had been a thorn in their side, and they were able to come in to do it in their house.
And there's a three. Another good three by Megan Llewellyn.
Her second of the half, Brian. And Pine-Richland able to take a 2-point lead again.
Llewellyn now has 6 points on 2 3-pointers, as the legend mentioned. Now there's an interior pass, and Eith will get to the outside. Here's a three that is good, and that is Mia Rader on the shot. Butler now leads again, 11-10. Now a quick inbound, and now here's Gessner. Gessner gets it to Graff. 6-10 in our second quarter from Pine-Richland High School. Alongside the legend Ben Lambert, I'm Brian Kirk here on PRTV, calling another 6A matchup between Pine-Richland and Butler. And here's interior pass, Krankovic. Shot is kind of blocked, and it is rebounded by Rader.
Like Rader, got the rebound.
Here's a blocking foul, looks like on Krankovic, as...
So it looks like Graff was in there too.
Yeah, Kaufman tried to drive there. There's a floor foul, it will be on Graff, Ben. The Morgan Gage will inbound for Butler. Tipped around, and now here's our three from the wing. Rattles in for Jordan Kaufman. 14-10 now, Butler has the lead. Llewellyn will get now to Brenner, Brenner to Graff. Graff back to Brenner. Brenner at the top of the key gets it now to Llewellyn in the corner, Gessner. Gessner, Brenner, Brenner. Now Graf, inside pass, Krankovic at the low post, and now swung around to Llewellyn. Llewellyn gets it now to Graf. Graf, a three from the corner. Nothing but net. Rams are hitting three-pointers tonight, Ben.
Yeah, Brian, back and forth action.
And the bench over here is loving it as well, if you can see it. Doing a little celebration. We said at the outset, Ben, Rams need to put a complete game to compete with Butler here, and that's something they struggled last week against Seneca, but they're doing a great job in the first half this week.
Early here at it seemed like the second half Rams of that team has come to visit Pine-Richland here as we got a turnover and Llewellyn coming back in.
Llewellyn, she misses, it's off the glass and out of bounds.
Looks like it's going to stay with the Rams. As it looks like Brian's cable's being fixed, so I will take you through. Here's the inbound to Llewellyn. Shot's no good. Rebound by Butler. Mia Rader has it.
Okay, I'm back. Thanks for covering for me, Ben, for like 15 seconds.
Yep, thank you, Brian. Yep.
My cable got tangled around a swivel chair here. But back to action. 14-13, Butler in the lead, and there's going to be foul on Gessner. She doesn't quite agree with it.
Yeah, it looked like Jenna Kunst went down there trying to drive in for the easy layup, but was fouled.
So here's the inbound along the baseline. The shot is an air ball from right about the paint by Kunst. Rebound by Pols. Yep. So here goes Llewellyn, bring it into the front court. Llewellyn gets it now to Brenner. Rams down by one, 14-13, 3:53 in our second quarter. Llewellyn, or excuse me, that's Graf. Graf gets it to Llewellyn. And now Brenner. Back to Llewellyn. Now Graf. An interior pass now tipped around and retained by Kayla Graf, and now Brenner. Brenner and Graf, both seniors, as well as Callie Pols and Victoria Krankovic. There's a foul as Kendall Gessner will go up. So she will go to the line to shoot two, and she will try to get more points on the board for the Rams. Gessner is 2 tonight. Foul was on Eith.
Been really impressed with the Rams defense so far, Brian.
First free throw from Gessner's to the left. Yeah, I agree, Ben. They've really been playing well in the inside here under the basket with Pols and Krankovic. Yeah.
Really, they've gotten into Butler's faces a little bit when they've been shooting, and they've been boxing out and getting rebounds.
Yeah, 2 missed free throws again for Gessner. Score still 14-13 in favor of the Golden Tornado. Now here's Rader. Rader gets it off to Kaufman. And now Kunst. Kunst gets it now to Petmeyer. Petmeyer. Kaufman. Now Kunst will drive. Nice pass. Short corner, no good from Petmeyer, and it's out of bounds off of the Rams. So Nicole Petmeyer, the senior for the Golden Tornado, will inbound. As it looks like another sub for Butler. Sydney Hanratty will come in. Hanratty, the junior.
Sounds similar to a 70s Steelers backup quarterback, Brian.
Yeah. There's a shot that's
Terry Hanratty, that was.
Yeah.
Went to Notre Dame, ironically, where
Phil our quarterback
is going.
Yep, so here's Llewellyn, gets it now to Brenner. Inside pass Llewellyn.
Him and Rocky Blyer went to Notre Dame together.
Yep. So 2:30 in our second quarter or first half. Say whatever you want. Llewellyn gets it inside Brenner. Brenner short corner off the front rim and gets her own rebound. Now she's battling in the paint and she will be fouled. So Taylor Brenner will look for her first point of the night and she will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Brian, Pine-Richland's done a nice job of getting rebounds on defense and on offense, getting that second opportunity there at the net and forcing Butler to take the foul.
First one from Brenner, nothing but net. 5 players out there for the Rams. Kayla Graff, Megan Llewellyn, Callie Pulse, Gessner, and Brenner. Speaking of Brenner, the second is off the front rim. And a jump ball, maybe. Nope, it is retained by Butler.
Looked like 2 dogs fighting over a bone,
Yeah.
but Butler was able to retain possession as Mia Rader has it.
And now Rader will get it off to Kunst. Kunst gets it out to Petmeyer. Petmeyer back to Rader. Rader defended by Llewellyn. And now Kaufman. Kaufman gets it to Kunst. Kunst will drive off the bottom of the backboard and goes right to Callie Pulse and the Rams. And now here goes Llewellyn. 1:45 in our second quarter. Cross-court pass. Llewellyn will travel. Kayla Graff traveled. And you're tied at 14. Butler will inbound.
Really tight, another tight game between these two, Pine-Richland Butler. So we saw a tight game on Friday night, and
here's the inbound to Rader. Leading scorer for the Rams is Megan Llewellyn with 6 points. Also with 6 points for Butler is Jordan Kaufman. That leads all the scores for them. There's a drive and shot no good by Altman. Here goes Graff after the rebound. Gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn now to Brenner. Back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn at the top of the key. Now Brenner right on the PR logo.
Pine-Richland has the ball again toward the final minute. The last time they did that, last time that happened, they gave up the buzzer beater in the first quarter to see if they, how long they hold it, if they take a shot.
So here we go, we're under a minute, Ben. Now here's Llewellyn, gets it Gessner. Now Graff back to Brenner, and an errant pass out of bounds. Now Butler will get the ball 51.1 seconds.
Yeah, Brian, sometimes in that situation, you're best to just shoot it and try to get a rebound instead of pass, because eventually it's the tank's going to run empty and you're going to make an errant pass like happened, like what just happened there for the Rams. And Butler looks to hit it, looks to take the lead late here in the first half.
That's Kunst. Kunst gets it now to Altman. Altman swings it around, and now Rader, the wing, 28 seconds. Rader will trying to dribble around Llewellyn, and will. She is lane. Then we'll get it out to Emma Monteleone. Monteleone, the sophomore for Butler. Now Monteleone with the ball again. There's 12 seconds, holding for a final shot, perhaps.
Trying for the hat trick of...
There's a 3 from the top of the key. That's an air ball and trying to be saved, and it goes right to Gessner. 1 second. Gessner doesn't get it off in time, and it misses the backboard.
A little short there, Brian. A little left.
So at the end of our first half of action, we have a good one here at Pine-Richland High School between the Rams and Golden Tornado, tied at 14. Ben, what are some adjustments you think the Rams have to make here? Obviously, they're playing great defense.
Well, Brian, I think they got to, when they get the foul shot opportunities, I think they got to do a better job of hitting those, and really they have to drive for a little bit more rebounds and work on taking the shot. And if you're Butler, I think you got to be a little nervous right now because you've let a team in Pine-Richland hang around, and that's the last thing you want to do if you're a team who's bidding to win a section title and get all the way to the Whippeal championship. You don't want to give a game away to give away a game to a Pine-Richland team who has had some struggles this season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And you never want to give any team, especially Pine-Richland. We saw what they did in that second half against Seneca Valley. They came out firing, and we'll see. Let's see if that happens here. Butler may be in trouble.
Yeah, we hope the Rams could pull one out here tonight. Tied at 14, though, so stay tuned, viewers of PRTV. Pine-Richland and Butler tied at 14. We'll see you in the second half. Yes. And welcome back to our second half of action here from Pine-Richland High School. We're tied at 14 between the Pine-Richland Rams and the Butler Area Golden Tornado. Alongside the legend Ben Lambert, I'm Brian Kirk. Glad to be bringing you another girls basketball game, and we have some more girls games coming up next week. Starting next Monday, Shaler Area Titans come to town to face the Rams. Last time these two teams met, Pine-Richland defeated Shaler at their home court 37-27. The game played on January 15th. As we get back to action here.
Pine-Richland looking for the sweep in that one.
Yep. So here we go. Second half, Mia Rader gets it now to Eith. 5 out there for the Rams is, as there's that shot that's good. Butler takes the lead. The 5 out there for the Rams, that's Llewellyn, Graff, Pulse, Gessner, and Taylor Brenner. And here we go, here's Graff, 30 seconds into our third quarter, that is. Gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn leads with 6 points tonight for the Rams. Now on the far side in front of head coach Tom Riggert. Swinging around now Brenner. Brenner at the wing, defended by Kunst. And now Graff sets up a play and works around Altman. She drives, shot no good. Rebound is going to Altman, and she gets it now to Rader. Now here's Butler. Interior pass, a shot. Nice defense there by Callie Post. The shot was no good by Gibson. And here go the Rams again.
Good job by Kayla Graff there at the end to avoid turning it over. Back to Butler, deep in her own end.
So Gessner gets it now to Llewellyn. Llewellyn dribbles around, gets it back to Graff. Graff bringing along the 3-point line. Now Brenner will drive, and she will be fouled on the play by Alyssa Eith. It is a shooting foul, so Taylor Brenner will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Rams.
Nice,
6:29 in our third quarter.
Nice pass in there for Pine-Richland, not trying to force anything, waiting to see if something's there and forcing Butler into taking a foul.
First rattles in for Brenner. Brenner now has 2 points tonight. Second good as well. We're tied at 16 again. Taylor Brenner, 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Pine-Richland keeping it even here with Butler.
Butler again 5-2 in section play, 10-6 overall in the 2017-2018 basketball season. Second in 6A section 1. There's a drive by Rader, nice pass. That layup shot rattles in.
Yeah, Brian, it looked like the ball was thinking about rolling out, but rolled in, so Butler able to take a 2-point lead again.
18-16 to be exact. Now Brenner at the top of the key. Gets it to Gessner. Gessner in the corner. Dribbles it around, gets it back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn at about midcourt. Sets up a play. Now gets it to Graff. Graff gets it to Brenner. Brenner a 3 from right in front of us. Off the rim. Rebound goes to Gibson.
2 tornadoes in the area.
Yeah. Tornado warning.
Golden tornado, I should say.
Yeah. Here's Rader. Now Rader again at the PR. Defended by Llewellyn. Tries to drive and now gets it to Altman, and her 3 is a brick. And it is out of bounds. Going to Pine-Richland. Krankovic will check back in for the Rams. Callie Post will go to the bench for a breather.
Nice job by Pine-Richland again on defense. They're getting in the faces of these Butler shooters, not letting them have many open looks.
So Graff gets it to Llewellyn, cross-court pass, brings it across the timeline. Now Brenner inside, off the hands of Krankovic and out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like a little high there, Brian.
It's kind of tough. It's easier to see than to actually do.
Yeah,
these
Brian.
Players draped all over you. So here we go. That's Rader. Rader with 3 points tonight. As mentioned earlier, the leading scorer for Butler is
nice
Kaufman.
defensive play for the Rams there. Number 33, Taylor Brenner on that one, able to swat it out of bounds. But it stays with Butler.
So Gibson will inbound. And there's going to be a foul on Gessner. She doesn't quite agree with it, but it's only a floor foul. Well, each team has one team foul in the second half thus far. 4:44 remaining in our third quarter. There's the inbound. That's Kunst. Kunst gets it inside, turnaround, and then a pass. And now Rader at the top. Defended by Llewellyn. Rader will fake the drive, get an inside pass to Gibson. Her shot is up and good. Gibson now has 6 points tonight. So Butler now leads by 4, 20-16 over the Rams. Gessner gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn gets it now to Graf. Graf about the free throw line. Give and go from Brenner to Krankovic. Nice pass from Krankovic to Brenner. She is fouled. So she will go to the line to shoot too. She's been pretty good from the free throw line.
Yeah, Brian, tonight. I thought it was gonna go in there for her and she was gonna go for the 3-point play, but to no avail.
Here's Brenner trying to attempt 2 more free throws. First is nothing but net from the senior. Nicole Pepnutmeyer will be checking back in for the Golden Tornado. Altman will go to the bench for a breather. Second nothing but net from Brenner. Very good free throw shooter, Taylor Brenner. She now has 5 points tonight.
1 possession game again, Brian.
2-point lead for the Tornado as they deal with a full court press from the Rams. Pass inside, now back out, and that 3 is no good. The attempt goes to Kaufman, and the putback is good, and that's Jenna Kunst. Back to a 4-point
Brian,
lead.
one of the rare times that Butler's been able to get an offensive rebound, and they were able to finish it on that one with Kunst making the nice play, able to get it in off the backboard.
So Graf gets to Llewellyn. Llewellyn now Brenner. Brenner to Graf. Graf defended by another number 1. Nicole Pepmeyer now gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn to Krankovic. Krankovic, Graf again. Brenner, Gessner. Gessner at the wing. Gets it to Llewellyn. 3:14 in our third quarter. 22-18, Butler in front. As Brenner will drive, and she will miss the layup.
Looked like she had it there for a second, Brian, and the
rebound
denied by the rim.
Kunst, and now Kunst gets it to Pepmeyer, and now here's Rader again, Mia Rader. Driving in the paint, no good. Good defense by Krankovic, and now here goes Graf in transition. She will lay it up, no good. Rebound fought for, and Brenner will get it for the Rams.
Good job by Brenner. They're able to win the foot race and get the ball back for the Rams.
There's going to be a floor foul on Butler.
Rams will inbound here.
Graf will be inbounding. From the baseline. She looks and will get it to Brenner. Brenner tries a 3, too strong. And rebound goes to Allison Altman. Altman, the freshman. Now Rader defended by Llewellyn. Rader tries to get inside, turnover. Here goes Brenner in transition. Dribbling around defenders and will slow it down, gets to Llewellyn. Llewellyn pulls up for a 3 from the top. Rattles in and out, offensive rebound, Krankovic. She puts it up and in.
Nice job again for Pine-Richland, getting an offensive rebound, fighting for it, and getting a second chance opportunity and putting it home.
Krankovic has her first 2 points tonight. Full court press by Pine-Richland, and there will be a foul on Pine-Richland. Great defense by the Rams there. Unfortunately, there's a foul on Llewellyn.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, if you're the Rams, I mean, why not? You know, you're 2-5 in the section. Why not? Why you have a chance to pull up what would be one of your biggest wins of the year against a very good Butler team.
This would no doubt be their biggest win of the year, but they are down by 2 here as there's a drive by Kunst. She will drive. Defense again by Victoria Krankovic. She's impressive to watch on the defensive end.
Yeah, Brian, she's got a couple of blocks here tonight.
Brenner for the lead. Nothing but net. The Rams have a lead here. Woo! Taylor Brenner.
What a second half she's had so far. She was able to beat Nicole Petmeyer on that foot race.
And
Keep
here's
the
a
ball and they
turnover.
turn it over again.
Here's Graff. Rams up by 1, 23-22. Brenner defended by Kunst. Brenner gets it to Llewellyn.
Tenacious Pine-Richland defense coming out so far here in the second half.
Brenner now has 6 points tonight.
See if they hold it. There's 1:04 approaching 1 minute now on the third quarter.
Short corner from Krankovic, no good. Rebound goes to Kaufman. Kaufman gets it now to Rader, Mia Rader, that is. Rader will drive and then retreat, come up to the top of the key. And now gets it to Petmeyer. Petmeyer, an inside pass. And now back to Petmeyer. She tries a three. Off the rim, rebound goes to Gessner. 38 seconds now in our third quarter. Graff with the ball at the wing. Defended well by Petmeyer. Now gets it to Gessner. Gessner will hold. Clock now at 30 seconds. Brenner, top of the key, gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn calls for Graff and then gets it to Graff.
See if Pine-Richland waits till the final seconds to take a shot.
Llewellyn at the wing. Brenner pulls up for a three. And she is fouled.
Is that going to be three? And it is. It looks like.
I think so, Mr. Lambert.
I saw the official there on the near side signal three.
That foul's on Nicole Petmeyer, so 3 shots for Taylor Brenner. First rattles in Taylor Brenner. 2 shots remain, 13.5. And it's good. Rams up by 3 now, 25-22. New sub in to the game for the Tornado. That's Emily Altman. Petmeyer will go to the bench for a breather. Impressive free throw shooting by Taylor Brenner. 3 for 3.
Flawless on those free throws, Brian. And now it looks like, barring anything from Butler, Pine-Richland's going to have a 4-point lead heading into the third quarter.
5 seconds.
Fourth quarter, excuse me.
Getting loud in here. A lot of noise from the Rams bench. Cheering on their team.
Looks like that's going to be the case, Brian.
How about this? At the end of 3 quarters, your Rams lead by 4 points.
Against the
Butler.
number 2 team in the section, Brian.
So Ben, Rams now have the lead by 4 here. We were tied at 14 at the end of the half. What impressed you from the Rams here in this third quarter?
Well, Brian, again, they're rebounding, and they seem to be able to pick it up there when it looked like Butler was gaining some momentum. They had the 22-18 lead, and Pine-Richland was able to pick it up a little bit, and Butler hasn't scored since. So Pine-Richland's done a nice job defensively, and they're really starting to press and force Butler into some tough plays. So it'll be interesting to see if Pine-Richland can do it. This would be one of their biggest wins of the year. They've had a tough year, but if they could pull this off, they could hang their hats on this.
Yep. One of the players of the quarter easily was Taylor Brenner. She hit some clutch free throws, and then she had that great three-pointer right behind us here as we're ready to get back to our fourth quarter of action from Pine-Richland High School. And we reminded that next Tuesday we will be doing a boys varsity basketball game on the road. The Pine-Richland Rams travel to North Hills and play the Indians in a 6A section game.
Going for another road victory, Brian, as Pine-Richland.
Yeah, Pine-Richland
4 of their 5 wins so far have come on the road.
There's nearly a turnover, but Llewellyn maintains possession. And now Brenner. Brenner gets to Gessner. Gessner at the wing. Alongside the legend Ben Lambert, I'm Brian Kerp, here with PRTV. Girls 6A matchup between the visiting Butler area Golden Tornado.
If you're Pine-Richland here, you got to be patient. You're using up some time here.
We'd like to thank the rest of our crew as well. Bill Kleck, our producer, and cameraman Braden Perry.
Wide open look there. Kayla Graff did a nice job of finding Llewellyn. She escaped there and was able to make the easy layup. And Pine-Richland adds to its lead here early in the fourth.
And there's a three trying to cut into it. Shot too strong. Rebound goes to Graff. Graff gets it to Llewellyn. Brenner now in double figures with 11 points tonight.
You can feel it, Brian. These Rams smell it.
kind of electric in this gym. Not as electric as Friday night, but great crowd on hand.
Brian,
here.
it was you could not hear yourself think on Friday night. Thankfully tonight I still have my eardrums after the third quarter, as it was a loud building on Friday.
As Llewellyn has the ball now.
6:25 left in the basketball game.
Graff gets it to Brenner. Brenner back to Graff. Graff turn around, gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn tries a three. Too strong, out of bounds. Off of.
Looks like it's going to stay with the Rams. Good break there for the Rams. As Kayla Graff will inbound.
Graff will inbound from the baseline.
Had a nice assist on the last bucket for Pine-Richland.
Now Brenner gets the inbound from Graff. 2 seniors, as I mentioned earlier. Next Monday night will be senior night as well between the Rams and the Titans. As Krankovic, one of the seniors that will be honored, as well as Callie Pulse. There's a defensive foul as Kayla Graff went up for the shot, and she will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Rams. Graff with 3 points tonight, trying to extend that.
Foul on 31, Gibson.
So after the foul on Gibson, Graff will shoot 2. First is in, 29-22.
Yeah, Brian, in Pine-Richland's last game, they held their opponents to under 30 points, and when they've done that this year, they've been relatively successful as Graff hits both of them.
30-22, Rams up by 8, and now a quick inbound. And now here goes Kunst. Kunst, drive along the baseline, and there will be a foul on Pine-Richland. That's on Krankovic to be exact. Rams have 3 team fouls now, and Tornado has 5. First of 2 from Kunst, roll to the left, no good. And subbing in is Petmeyer for the Butler Golden Tornado.
Yeah, Brian, if you're Butler here, you have to hit those free throws. I mean, that when you're down by multiple scores here in the fourth quarter, you're trying to get back into it as she hits the second one. Second rattles in. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Jenna Kunst. Touchdown lead for the Rams.
Yeah. So Gessner now gets it to Llewellyn. Back to Gessner. Gessner at the wing, defended by Kaufman. There will be a foul on the floor against Butler. So the Rams will inbound from the sideline in front of the Rams bench.
Yeah, looks like Butler's getting a little antsy to try to cut into even more into this lead, and unfortunately for them, they took the foul.
So here's the inbound. Graff gets it now to Llewellyn. Llewellyn inside Krankovic. Krankovic back outside. Graff tries a 3. It's in! Another 3 for the Rams. Kayla Graff adds 3 to the scoreboard.
10-point lead now for the Rams, Brian.
Biggest lead of the night for the Rams.
Yeah, Brian, if you would have told me earlier today that the Rams would have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter against one of the best teams in the section, I would tell you you're crazy, but I'm seeing it right now.
This Rams team has a lot of potential. They're very young, so they have the potential to beat some good teams. And they are so far beating a good team, Butler, as Butler gets a offensive rebound. There's going to be a foul on Pine-Richland, as it looked like that was Kaufman going in for the drive.
Yeah, Brian, a win here for Pine-Richland. Not only for the rest of this year, it would build some confidence and really push them into next season for the Rams.
First of 2 is good from Kaufman. Lead down to 9. After tonight, the Rams will play at North Hills on Thursday. North Hills with an 0-7 conference record. Then next Monday, like I said, we'll be covering this game, a home game against Shaler, senior night for the Rams. Then the Rams will finish up their slate, the regular season slate, at Upper St. Clair next Thursday. The second is to the left, and the rebound goes to Callie Pulse, who's just checked in for the Rams. 4:41 remaining in our fourth quarter. Rams up by 9. Llewellyn now. Brenner driving around. Kunst, shot no good. Rebound for Gessner. And it'll be a timeout called by Tom Rigger and the Pine-Richland Rams. So at this time, we haven't gotten to advertising yet. Time to advertise our Pine-Richland Television on-demand page. If you missed a concert, sporting event, talent show, morning announcements, or even a school board meeting,
Football game, Brian.
you can go to our Pine-Richland Television on-demand page. You can visit that by going to the website on your screen, www.pinerichland.org/PRTV/on-demand.
Relive some of those great moments.
State champ Pine-Richland Rams, and then also some basketball games. We saw a game a couple weeks ago, Phil Dracovic with 4 dunks,
and he added one on Friday night, Brian.
You can watch that game on demand. And also, we'd like to advertise a digital art contest here in the Pine-Richland School District. It's called the Rammies. You can start making your digital art right now. It could be a video. For more information on the Rammies, you can go to the web address again on your screen, www.pinerichland.org/PRTV/Rammies.
Yeah, Brian, and the important thing to note about that is you don't have to be currently in high school to enter into that competition.
Yeah, you can be a staff member, you can live, work in Pine-Richland School District.
Yeah, I know when I helped film their Rammies a couple of years ago, an elementary school kid made a very good video called Fish Hook.
Yeah, there's some,
and that ended up winning.
There's a 3 that rattles in from Kendall Gessner, as you said that, Ben. Yeah.
Kendall Gessner having herself a night so far.
Rams lead by a dozen, 36-24. There's a drive, no good. Rebound goes to Pine-Richland. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Graff in transition. She will lose the ball, and it is turned over. And now here goes Rader going the other way.
Yeah, Brian, looked like she tried to split the D there and forgot the ball.
Shot from the blocks, no good. Rebound goes to Callie Pulse, and she passes it out of bounds. Possession will go to Butler.
Right,
Ben,
to
back
the
to what you were saying about back to what you were saying about that digital art contest. I've seen some of those videos. We have some really talented filmmakers all the way up. We have some
throughout Pine-Richland.
Yeah, we have some high school, of course, in Aaron Kaler's video production class, as well as some graduates that make videos, and people that even some staff members at Eden Hall made a video a few years ago and won an award. As there's a 3 by Raider that is no good, and rebound fought for it as a jump ball. Possession arrow points towards Butler. So 3:40 remaining in our 4th quarter. The Rams bidding for an upset, up by a dozen. There's a drive by Kunz, and she will be fouled, it looks like, by... I'll wait for the official ruling. I'm not going to guess. That's on Graff.
Looks like Kunst will try to make it a 10-point game.
She has 6 points tonight, trying to improve that. First rattles in. She has 7 points now, Ben. Six team fouls on Butler, 5 for the Rams as the second. Nothing but net from Kunz as well. 10-point game again as a timeout is called.
Yeah, Brian, and you look at that number you just said, 16 fouls for Butler and only 5 for the Rams. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, Brian. I mean, you look at that, and I mean, if you were to comment on it so far, I mean, that's been the difference. I mean, Pine-Richland's been the more disciplined team and has forced Butler into some situations where they've had the foul, and Pine-Richland has taken advantage of those free throws when they've had the opportunity.
Seeing a lot of free throws made by Taylor Brenner throughout the game.
Also some couple of threes.
This has been an impressive game by the Rams. Hopefully they could finish this thing off. 3:37 remaining. As Megan Llewellyn will inbound from the baseline on the far side of the gym from where we're sitting, Ben. Sitting down here in the corner, right across from the Rams bench. It's always great calling games courtside from Pine-Richland High School Gymnasium. As Llewellyn brings it into the front court. Gets it to Graff now. Graff at about the PR logo at midcourt. Gets it to Pulse.
If you're Pine-Richland here, you don't want to force anything.
Gessner now to Brenner. Brenner defended well by Petmeyer. Llewellyn now to Graff. Graf gets it back to Llewellyn. Llewellyn at the wing. Gessner starts at the corner, gets it to the wing. Now top of the key, that's Brenner. Inside pass from Graf to Pulse, and she gets 2 points in the paint.
Back to 12, Brian. Nice ball movement by Pine-Richland again. Their patience, they didn't force anything, and they took some time off the clock and came away with some points.
Good time management from the Rams. 2:45 remaining in our game. There's an errant pass.
Looks
the Rams
like
will get the ball.
from, looks like that was Nicole Pepmeyer for Butler with the errant throw.
Kaufman checking back in for Butler.
2:38 left
to Graf.
now in the fourth quarter. 38-26.
Yep. As Graf gets it to Pulse, and there's going to be a foul. Looks like on Mia Rader.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, if you're Butler, I mean, they realize that Pine-Richland's going to use some clock, and they're really backed into a tough situation where they have to start fouling. And if you're Pine-Richland, you got to really make these free throws, make them pay for it.
Pine-Richland now in the bonus. 1-1 coming from Callie Pulse. The first. Nothing but net. She'll get a second.
Pine-Richland again has been doing a nice job on these free throws. I've hit many of them.
Second. Oh, Rattles took a lap around the rim. Now there will be a foul on.
Looks like
Brenner.
Yeah, it looked like the Rams she got the rebound there. Fight for the ball.
Pardon me, that was on Gessner, her third of the night. Gessner and Brenner both went in for that ball after he took that lap, like I said, around that rim. So Rader gets it now to Kunst. Inside pass back to, actually no, that was to Gibson. There's a whistle.
Looks like it's
foul
on Pine-Richland.
Both teams are in the bonus now.
Look like
each team with 7 fouls.
Looked like the announcement came that the foul was on Callie Pulse for the Rams.
First, a 1-1 is good from Julia Gibson. Gibson, the junior for Butler. 2:19 remaining. Gibson with 8 points. And shot too strong. Rebound goes right to Gessner. Now Gessner gets it to Llewellyn. Llewellyn brings it across the timeline. Llewellyn, nifty dribbling work. Great drive. Shot off the side of the rim. Rebound goes to Altman.
1:59 left now, Brian.
Now here's Rader. Rader gets it to Eith. There's going to be a whistle on Kayla Graf, I believe. Defensive foul. So
yeah, it doesn't,
another 1-1 opportunity for Butler.
Doesn't look like that shot at the end there is going to count as it came after the foul.
So Alyssa Eith, the senior, will go to the line to shoot 2 for Butler. First rattles in. Eith gets her first point of the night.
Trying to make this a 10-point game again.
Emma Monteleone checking in for Butler. We have another timeout here.
The Rams 155 away.
So Ben, you're head coach of the Rams, Tom Riggard here. What do you think you're telling the girls over there on that sideline?
Well, Brian, I think if Butler makes this free throw, or if depending on if they make it or miss it, you have to get the rebound. And really, if you're Pine-Richland, you got to take your time on the offensive side of the ball and not force anything, because Butler's going to be forced into a situation where they have to foul you. And Pine-Richland can't force anything. We saw they did it earlier in the game. I believe it was Callie Pulse tried to force a pass in there, and it ended up being errant, and Butler was able to go down and get some points there to end the first quarter.
The buzzer beater in the first quarter, if you remember that. So the full timeout is about to expire.
That was a three-pointer there. 3-point buzzer beater, Brian.
Seen a lot of those against Butler in the last couple
the JV game. We saw one in the JV game.
That was like a half-court shot too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
Second from Eith is forthcoming. Gets to the left and is an easy rebound for Kendall Gessner. 1:50 remaining. Gessner, ball gets stolen away. A nice defensive play by Kunst. Still down by 11 though, Butler.
Yeah, Butler has to move fast.
And an interior pass, and 2 points now for Julia Gibson. That was a great play drawn up by Butler there. Get the turnover off of Gessner and go in and get some points in the paint there. It's a 9-point game now. Yeah,
Brian, it looked like the attack from behind as she was kind of surprised there, Gessner. So it's a 9-point game now with 1:37 left.
So we remind you to join us for our next girls broadcast, which will be next Monday. The Shaler Area Titans come to town and face the Rams right here in this exact gym. Again, that's next Monday, and it's senior night for the Rams, the final home game of the season. It is a 7:30 p.m. tip-off. Be sure to tune in on Pine-Richland Television Cable, Armstrong Channel 211, Consolidated Channel 404, or you can go to our Pine-Richland Television live streaming page. You can go to that. It's www.pinerichland.org/PRTV/streaming. As I also mentioned, we'll be doing the boys game next Tuesday as well down at North Hills. You see your quick graphic there. 6A matchup.
So it looks like Meg Llewellyn is going to inbound for the Rams. Pine-Richland really has to be careful with the ball here.
Llewellyn will inbound from the baseline. She looks. It's a home run pass. And now caught by Graff. Graff will lay it up. 2 points for Kayla Graff. Rams have 41 points tonight. They lead by 11. Under a minute and a half, the Rams are nearing a victory over Butler. Raider will drive, trying to stop, and she will be fouled on the play.
Looked like Llewellyn on the foul.
Butler still in the bonus. 9 fouls now on Pine-Richland. A 1-and-1 from. Actually, it's a 2-shot foul. It's the double bonus now as the first from Raider is good.
Ten-point game.
And make it a 9-point game. Raider has 2 free throws go down. There's another timeout called by Butler, a minute 17 now. Is this what the game was like on Friday? A bunch of timeouts? It was just...
Yeah, Brian, it felt like that, you know, after it felt like after Pine-Richland, after the Rams were unable to get those 2 free throws with a couple of seconds left, they called the timeout, and it just seemed like that was the longest one. It seemed like with 1 minute left to go in the ball game, it seemed like there was a timeout every other second, and it felt like the longest 1 minute I've ever experienced. Yep. And unfortunately for the boys varsity team, it ended in a tough loss for them.
Yeah, each team tonight has 3 timeouts remaining.
The varsity team for the boys was able to bounce back yesterday with a nice road victory.
I believe they beat Ambridge. There's another timeout called by Pine-Richland. They have 2 remaining now. 1:13.
Yeah,
Only
Brian,
4 seconds elapsed
that's
off the
the last thing. If that's, you know, and that's the last thing you would want to do if you're any Pine-Richland team after a tough loss like that, is really, you really have to have a short memory and keep it in the back of your mind if you see those guys again, and really just move on. Because we've seen it before so many times in professional sports, you know, where a team has a tough loss one week and it seems like that next game they haven't really accepted that loss. They're still kind of have it hanging on them.
So here we go, the inbound Llewellyn. Again, 1:13 remaining. Rams up by 9, gets it to Graff. Graff gets it to Gessner. Gessner, that is. Brenner. Llewellyn at the wing, getting triple teamed. And
looked like intercepted there.
That's intercepted by Kunst. And a bad pass.
Yep. Who's it going to be off of?
Tom Riggert thinks the Rams have it, and they will.
Yeah, Brian, it looked like Gessner reached up for the ball there, and maybe a good thing that ball went a little bit over her outstretched hand.
58.9 seconds, the Rams within a minute of victory. Llewellyn looks and will get it to Callie Pulse. Pulse hands it off pretty much to Graff. Tried to get an inside pass to Brenner, and it's out of bounds. Just off the fingertips of Taylor Brenner. Rams with
53.
Rams have 2 players in double figures. Brenner has 11 while Graff has 10.
53.4 on the clock now. As Butler's starting to move fast.
Down by 9, shot no good. Rebound fought for, out of bounds off of Callie Pulse.
Butler retains.
Clock down to 46.2 in our 4th quarter. Here's the inbound on the baseline, that is Eith. Eith looks some more. And a give and go pretty much, and Eith tries a 3. No good, rebound, that's Gibson, and Gibson will be fouled, I believe. Yep, and she will go to the line to shoot 2. 39.7 now in our game.
Trying to cut this lead down to 7 for the Rams here late.
The first rattles in and out. You can tell the rims are
Brian,
on the Rams side.
It seems like those, I mean, both ways, it seems like those rims have been a little, those hoops have been a little stingy tonight with the free throws.
Well, that one went in though. They've been nice to Taylor Brenner though. She has a few free throws tonight. And 11 points in total as there's another timeout, as that was Butler who called that timeout. So the remaining games for Butler, they play versus NA, a next section game. They play Thursday against NA. As mentioned earlier, NA is first in the section with a 7-0 section record. And then they play at Seneca Valley next week. Seneca Valley has currently a 4-3 section record with a 9-7 overall record.
Yeah, Brian, if this score stays the same for the next 39.7, that game for Butler against North Allegheny becomes so much bigger.
North Allegheny, we've seen them down at the Peterson Event Center for a good number of years in a row now. Really solid coach team out there.
Yeah, Brian.
Spencer Stefko, the head coach of the Tigers.
They seem to have competitive teams all across the board. I mean, I think if high school sports started a checkers league, that North Allegheny would be one of the top teams. They're just so well coached in most every sport.
There's going to be a foul as Brenner was dribbling it, and that foul's on Jenna Kunst. Brenner will go to the line to shoot 1-1.
Trying to get this lead back up to 10 here.
First from Brenner is nothing but net. Taylor Brenner now has 12 points, leading all Rams scorers. The second, off the front rim, and the rebound goes to Eith. Eith, under 30 seconds now. Working around Brenner, drives in the paint, knifes her way through and gets 2 points. Nice play there by
timeout Butler.
Eith, and another timeout by Butler as the clock took a little time to stop, so they might put some time back on. It currently says 18.4 seconds. The rest will converse at the scorers table and see how much time to put back.
Yeah, it looked like there was at least 20 seconds when they called the timeout. Still a 3-possession game. Butler down by 7. They would need two quick 3-pointers, and then hopefully on the one of them a foul on the 3 for a 4-point play, as it looks like 21.9. I was about a second off.
So good work by the refs to get that clock situation fixed. We usually have some good refs here calling games for boys and girls basketball, as well as football games. Never really had a problem with any
Yeah,
referees in any game.
Yeah, Brian, they do a good job. I mean, I know last year the big controversy with the boys basketball team was that buzzer beater late, and really they did a nice job. And watching over it again and again, it seemed to be the right call. And I mean, they do their best, and they really want to make the right call.
Yeah, we're all human, and the refs do the best they can. They done a great job tonight, calling a very fair game between these two teams, as they always do. There's the inbound to Post. Post gets it to Brenner, under 20 seconds now. Brenner gets bumped, and a foul will be charged to Jenna Kunst.
Another one on Kunst.
17.1 now.
And it looked, the last one she had was on Brenner. Second foul and under a minute for Kunst.
It'll be another 1-and-1 for Taylor Brenner. First one, nothing but net.
So it looks like the Rams are looking to put this one away with these free throws here.
The second rattles in and out, and the rebound goes to Gibson. 13 seconds. Raider will have a last second drive. No good. There's 10 seconds.
And it looks like the Rams are going to do it, Brian.
There's a foul, but yeah, you're right, Ben. How about this Pine-Richland girls basketball team tonight? The Lady Rams
really
come on out and play a really good Butler
the
team.
underdog.
And they have 7.9 seconds until they pull off, I'm going to say, an upset against this Butler team. Second in the section. Graf will go for 2 shots. The Rams are now in the double bonus. First is off the front rim. One shot remaining from Graf, and here it is. Took a few laps around the rim again, and it goes down.
So it looks
5
like
seconds.
Pine-Richland's going to pull it off here.
Yeah, there's another whistle. A lot of credit goes to Tom Rigger and his coaching staff at Pine-Richland. They all do a great job getting the team ready for their games. Young team. We look forward to seeing what this team can do next Monday against Shaler, but for the future seasons.
This win's going to build some confidence for them, as Pine-Richland's going to go for their 3rd straight win in North Hills on Thursday.
Second is good. 44-37. Tom Rigger in his second full season as the Lady Rams head coach. Took the Rams to the playoffs last year with a lot of seniors that graduated.
Looks like that's going to do it.
And the young team, Pine-Richland, upsets Butler Golden Tornadoes tonight, 44-37. What a game, Ben. What a game.
What a
Great
game
fought
indeed,
by
Brian.
many of the Rams. A lot of good plays, some great buckets made by Graf and Brenner. Good free throws as well. The Rams had some great free throws, made great defensive plays. We've seen that all year pretty much from Frankovic.
And rebounds, we can't forget that. They did a great job of rebounding and getting those second chance opportunities. And really, we looked up. I think you read those the number of fouls to me early in the 4th quarter, and Pine-Richland only had 5, and for Butler it was in the double digits. And really, when you look back on it, that was the difference in the outcome. I mean, Pine-Richland gets more trips to the line than Butler does, and they were able to convert on their opportunities.
So, Ben, another great game called here tonight. Look forward to having you with me again on Monday night as we call another girls game against Shaler.
One more thing, Brian. I mean, if you're a Butler fan, I mean, you wonder. I mean, Butler's playing North Allegheny next. I mean, did they look past Pine-Richland maybe a little bit?
That's true.
mean, and that's the last thing. That's the last thing you want to do, especially against this Pine-Richland team. I mean, they're no slouch, and we've seen that they can score points in bunches, and they did it here tonight.
Yeah. Also, I have to throw it out there. Don't overlook a team. The Steelers overlooked the Jaguars, and you see the Steelers are sitting at home now. That was our executive producer, Bill Clack, with that quote. So we'd like to thank him for being our producer tonight. I'd like to thank you, Ben, for joining me, as well as our cameraman, Braden Perry, who did a great job getting some camera shots for you guys tonight from up in the bleachers. And we look forward to seeing more crew members here next week, as we will be covering the game against Shaler and the Tuesday game at North Hills, a boys game that is. And we'd like to thank you all fans for watching us tonight here on Pine-Richland Television. Once again, alongside the legend Ben Lambert, I'm Brian Kerp signing off. Your Rams victorious tonight with the upset over the Butler Area Golden Tornado, 44-37. Have a good night.